We've all heard about the power of first impressions, and we all worry about making sure that we make that right first impression. And I'm sure all of us are guilty of making snap judgments on people the minute we see them. But here's a story then which you must hear. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai, our weekly series of videos where I share simple lessons and stories to help each of us become just a little bit better. A friend of mine works for a luxury car dealership in Coimbatore, and he was telling me about something interesting which happens all the time, every day in his store. He says there'll be this person walking in, well-dressed, looking fairly affluent, with a wife and a kid. And when they come into the store, he says that all his salespeople rush to serve him because they can see this well-heeled corporate kind of person who must be setting his eyes on that luxury car. And he says at the same time, there is sometimes a man disheveled with a beard which has not been, hasn't been shaved for a few days, in his dhoti and a kurta which looks, it's seen better days. And nobody really wants to serve him. And my friend says that years of minding the store in Coimbatore have taught him a lesson. It's more likely that that man in the dhoti is the real customer for that luxury car, and he probably has a wad of currency notes in his underwear under that dhoti, while that well-dressed man is probably looking for a nice, cool place to hang out before he heads off for the movies at the multiplex next door. He keeps telling his team this: never judge a customer by his appearance or her appearance. And I think that's such a powerful lesson for all of us. And as I heard the story of that luxury car showroom, it reminded me of a little story I heard as a kid myself. And the story was set in a village fair, one of those places made popular in the Hindi movies where typically two brothers get separated and then get reunited 3 hours and 20 years later. So there was this balloon seller at the fair, and he had an assortment of balloons filled with helium. Some were red, they were pink and blue and white. And not too many kids were being attracted in that crowded fair. And then the balloon seller had an idea. What he did was to let go of a balloon. And as that balloon, the red one, went up into the sky, suddenly people noticed that there was a balloon seller there. And that brought lots of kids towards the balloon seller. And after a while, he let go of a blue one. And then he let go of a pink one. And these balloons just kept flying up in the air. And as he did that, a little kid walked up to the balloon seller and said, Uncle, if you let go of that white balloon, will that also go up? And the balloon seller smiled and said, it's not about the color of the balloon, it's what's inside that makes the difference. It's the helium inside the balloon which makes it go up. The color of the balloon is quite irrelevant. And that's perhaps a good lesson for all of us to remember. It's true for balloons, it's true for human beings too. It's not about what you see outside, it's what's inside the person that actually makes a difference. So forget about the color of the balloon and remember, it's what's inside that makes a difference. That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pai. Until next time, enjoy your chai and watch out for what's inside.